Hey, and welcome back for another Treasure Hunting Tuesday video. So I found these 2-inch brushes at Hobby Lobby, and these are fine touch brushes. So luckily these go on sale every 2 to 3 weeks, and it comes in a packet of a nice, really hard, scratchy brush, a stiffer 2-inch brush, and then a softer 2-inch brush. And these are great for getting a lot of coverage in a hurry. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one for this project. I've got an 8x10 sheet of Canson watercolor paper here, and I've laid out some distress oxides. I've got my water bottle. I always have my squirt bottle handy. Of course, 2 vessels of water here, one for clean and one for dirty. And then I've got frayed burlap, pumice stone, hickory smoke, walnut stain, and faded jeans. I may use all of these, I may not. I've got Master's Touch metallics here. I love to spatter metallic on my artwork. And then I've got my not Canson, I was looking at that thinking Canson. I've got my Sonnet Studio Watercolors 24 set as usual here. And then of course just a few extra brushes. I like to use little fan brushes for spattering. They work very well. And then of course I've got my little palette plate here. So let's go ahead and get started. I also got this little board here. It's just like a vinyl cutting board. I got this from Walmart, and the back is like it's got a cork backing. This here is my indigo from my Master's Touch paint set, the tube paints. So I want to go ahead and sprinkle some of that around on here too. This is just fun to layer stuff up. Now this is from my Sonnet set. This is my sepia color that I had left over from my Eco Dye altered watercolor video. And I'm just going to go ahead and activate that with a lot of water and my little fan brush here and get some beautiful spatter going. It's not dark enough. So let's go ahead and just take it straight from the pan. It's always best to activate your colors with a little bit of water. We'll just go straight out of here. That's better. I'm going to go ahead and activate everything with my squirt bottle. And I'm not going to use all of them since I've already got some indigo blue in here. I'm going to add some of this. I believe this is Payne's Gray here. And that's straight out of the tube. Oh, that's a really nice addition to this little piece. So I'm playing and learning and experimenting with my watercolors, and I'm finding what I like and what I want to use in the future. So after I get more practice, I will be more methodical about picking, but it's always good to just grab your stuff and let yourself really just play, you know, and get to know your colors, get to know your new supplies and all that good stuff. Okay, so what I've done here is dried the last layer almost completely with the Payne's Gray, and then I decided to add a little bit of this metallic black color. This is the leftover frayed burlap and pumice stone that I had on from the last layer, and there's quite a bit of it on here, so I want to go ahead and just add another layer of these colors. A lot of artists, you know, they tape down, they stretch their watercolor paper and tape it down, and I like that, and I'm sure I'll be doing projects like that. But for something like this, when I'm using distress inks or oxides, I like to have the freedom of being able to bend the paper and move it the way I want it to move. And then you can always, my get around for not taping my paper down is to just iron this when I'm all done with the artwork and hit the back, the back of it, of course, so that you don't reactivate anything on the front. Okay, so I've got my drop of indigo. Look at how rich and deep that is. That's far darker than what I want. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm using a round here, quite a large round. It was handy. Just going to dip this in the water and really kind of get that indigo on the page. Like me, I have a tendency to work stuff a little bit too much, so you really want to guard against that. But I think adding the indigo all over in various thicknesses of this really pulled this page together. And the last thing I want to do is just take my little fan brush and my dirty water and just spatter some water on this page and then dry it completely and move on to the next step. Okay, so we're going to get into all this in just a minute, how to do this. The way I do it is I eyeball it. So this is meant for you to have fun and to let loose and to just let yourself doodle and kind of come up with whatever pattern comes to you and roll with it. So if you look closely, there are a lot of uneven parts of this, but I actually like that. I think it adds to the finished look of it to have it be off here and there. I just think it looks more genuine. So don't worry about being exact, really. This is so meant, the way I do this is to loosen up and to have fun, and that's it. And if it gets messed up, you can darken an area in. I had a couple mess ups that I will show you how to fix. So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so here's this mandala all dried and complete, and I decided I wanted to scan this. I want to put together a mandala kit, so this is going to be the beginning of that kit. And then I went ahead and scanned it. See all the shimmer in there? A lot of shimmer. And I went ahead and did a print because I wanted to see how the gold translated, and it's a vast difference between the original and the print as far as the metallics go, but the metallics do translate here and there, and it's just a matte kind of a look, but I really like the way metallics translate onto prints. It's definitely different, so there is that. But my plan now is I have these cards. These are Pearl Shimmer, and this is a Paper Studio product here. These are 5x7. I swear, I was thinking this morning I should really get kickbacks from Hobby Lobby. Oh, I need to set up my affiliate shop. So then here, of course, are the Pearl Shimmer envelopes, 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. And of course, there's your pricing. But Paper Studio products go on sale all the time. So let's go ahead. I want to make 4 cards out of this. And this piece, I believe, is 8 by 10. Yep, we got 10 and 8. And I just did this mandala on an 8 by 10 piece of watercolor that I cut, not really knowing what I wanted to do with it. So that didn't come until after I did it, you know. So I'm going to be making a bunch of cards in the future, and I want to be able to have more forethought about it. But anyway, I want to go ahead and cut this. So I've got 8 by 10, so I've got 5, which is the very edge of my board here. And then 4. So here they are all cut into 5 by 4 pieces, and then that gives me quite a lot of border for this card here. So I'd like to add another piece of paper. What I want to do is just do black deckled edge papers, so I'll be right back to do that. Okay, aren't you guys so proud? I just whacked up an original. I kept the print right here and cut the original. So the thing I want to do is I want to start making a bunch of cards, just because a long time ago I bought a bunch of these cards and envelopes, and I did different colors. I didn't do a huge color palette. I did mostly black, white, cream, but there's some turquoise in there and stuff. But I bought these a long time ago and then got sidetracked, as I do, and I want to come circling back around to this, and I want to make really beautiful card sets with original artwork. So I'm excited about doing this. And then of course I'm going to go ahead and scan. I forgot to scan the watercolor background on this, but in the future I'll be scanning the background and then doing the mandala and or whatever, because I want to do a bunch of different pen work, and then I'll scan that as well. So if you guys want to get your own to make your own cards and stuff to give to people, or I don't even care if you buy my kits to sell cards. I just ask that you don't sell digital products and that you don't use my stuff without somehow, you know, just make it your own is what I'm trying to say. Incorporate my artwork in with your artwork. So that's how that's going to go in the future. Aren't these fun? Look at these real quick. Let me bring you in and we'll look at each one real quick individually. I love the background watercolor in this one. It really makes it kind of fun to do it this way. It just puts a whole new twist on it. And I have a watercolor sample pack that I'm putting together now. I used to teach art classes and I made a lot of artwork that I didn't film in the past. So I'm putting that kit together, and once I get that one done, I will show you guys the whole thing. There's so much fun stuff in it. So a lot of zen-tangle, stuff like this, artwork like this. But this has a really fun, to me, Mayan / Indian vibe. I did the curves and that kind of reminds me of India. And then these, all the sharp triangles, and then this shape here really just gives kind of a Mayan vibe to it. And I don't plan out my patterns at all. I just draw my circles like you saw, and then I just think, oh, okay, well, I'd like to add this, and then I just go in all the way through, and then you'll get a few patterns going, and then you'll see where you want it filled in. So this is just a way to really unleash your artistic abilities. Just let yourself fly with this and let your pen do whatever comes to mind. The funnest part of doing this artwork is just that, not allowing myself to think about it, just doing it. This squiggly line, I consider this my signature little thing here because I came up with this doing some another project, I'll just say that, and I've been doing these, incorporating them into my pen work forever. So use it by all means, but just know that you got it from me. Now everything else I cannot lay claim to. So, you know, we pick up stuff here and there, you know how it is. Okay, so my trick, Chishkori, all around and around. I've got some nice black cardstock here. It's just Paper Studio. And then I've got, this is an old blade here. And the reason I've hung on to it, as you can see, I have written deckled edge on here with a Sharpie. That probably won't last too long. So what I could do to be even smarter is to just write it here. And then this way, when your blades wear out and you want that, you love that interest of that really just mildly torn edge, you can get it with an old blade. Look at that. You get a really fun little edge from your old blade. And it's done. It's so fast. So I've got 6. And then, of course, I want that deckled edge all the way around, so I'm going to whack off a little bit of excess off of these here. And I've got a little bit to play with. So now we're going to go 4.5 times 2 for this page. You know, I just do it. I do stuff like this a few times and then I figure it out. See, I forgot to do this edge. So now this is going to just be ever so slightly shorter. So you want to watch stuff like that. So go ahead and whack all 4 to get that decal and then cut your paper down, and that'll save you from running into that. So I'm just a little shy of 6 that way. But I have it this side, so I'm going to change gears a little bit here. I'm going to take this so I get my true 6, and then I'm going to whack this side to 4.5. Okay, so it takes a little fidgeting, and that's fine. So here's what I'm ending up with. Let's see how this looks, how we like it. Yeah, you'll fiddle around a little bit and you get it all dialed in and then you're ready to rock. Okay, I think that's way too big of a border. So I'm going to knock it back even more. I'm thinking I like the length, but I want to pronounce that a little bit more. So I'm thinking 1/8 of an inch on each side. So I'm going to whack this 1/4 of an inch. Move this so we can see clearly. I can see clearly now. I have you so far away. I, as you know, struggle to stay in frame, so the closer I get you, the more I have to pay attention to that. And I'm so busy a lot of times painting, cutting, doing whatever that I'm like, oh, I forgot to stay in frame. Okay, I like that much better. Now it pronounces this edge, and that's kind of what I wanted. So this is going to end up being I've got 12 pieces, so I get 4, I'll get 3 kits, you know, I'll do 3 watercolor sheets per package, and then get 3 different designs to play with. So I hope you enjoyed this mandala, and when I get a bunch of cards together and any tricks that I come across as I'm making the cards, I'll be sure to share with you, like I just did with the deckled edge and all that. But I will show you all these cards when I get them done, and I'm really excited about these because they're going to be originals, and I'm going to sign them all somewhere. So these are going to be really fun, and my plan is to put these in with journal kits and maybe sell a few of these sets just as a set of cards. Tell me what you guys think. I'd really love to hear. Another quick tip for you, I've just got kind of a wide fat Sharpie here. I like to black the edges of my artwork real quick, and you can of course ink them or however you want to do it. I just want to get rid of that white, and I'm holding the front of it so that if my pen slips, it'll slip down the back because that happens. And voila, you have a beautiful blacked in edge because it really can detract. I've got this on that thick Canson watercolor paper, and the edge is actually thick enough to make a very big difference. So if you haven't subscribed yet, of course, as always, I invite you to come on back and do more fun stuff with me, and I will see you soon. Have a great day.